All right, guys. Now we're welcome to. All right, guys. Now we're gonna do the HS. Shit. Oh, just say it. Say it right. I can't. Welcome to. No. No. Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Kinnick, and welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 12 Field Trials. Today, we are going to be testing out some of your submissions that I asked for our upcoming playthrough. The winners here will be used in the upcoming playthrough, depending on our ability to build them, of course. But so we had quite a few submissions from you guys, so I picked basically the top 4 of every category of HV, SV, and CV to test out here, and I am excited to get this started. Now we're going to be starting with HVs, and I got us to a planet that is, well, basically hellish. Let me show you what we got here. I picked a spot where we can put these guys through their paces, because there is a big cluster of Xerax defense towers here, as well as just some isolated towers as well on this planet. This is the Alpha 12. I had to travel a few solar systems over to find one that kind of fit what we're trying to do today. The only downside on this planet is there are a lot of rocks, so it makes maneuvering an HV a challenge, which is one of the reasons that I did this. Because if you have to operate in tight quarters with a lot of obstacles, the HV should be responsive. It should be able to turn quickly and get you out of trouble if you're in trouble. So that is what we're going to do. I'll go through them here with you real quick. Over here, we have the Skip Ray by Spange. I believe this is the Skip Ray. Yeah, and if you guys don't know Spange, he's a great YouTuber. You should check him out. He's kind of my inspiration behind a lot of what I do here. But anyway, this is a tier 2, kind of a starter battle tank. It is, let's go ahead, statistics. Yeah, level 10. You have to be level 10, so that's basically an early game HV as far as tanks go. Of course, you know, you're going to probably need another HV to get around beforehand, but I'm looking specifically for the battle tanks here. That's kind of what we're doing. It's actually quite efficient for, you know, everything that it has on it. If you look over here at the ingredients, the carbon substrate is the biggest part of this, which at first I found concerning. However, let's go ahead and have a look here. All the important parts are in fact covered by hardened steel blocks, which is good. So I'm guessing a lot of the plastic is on the internals here. Yeah, the carbon composite, so it is protected. Now, it does not have a shield generator, so that's one thing to take into consideration. But I like the size. It's very well designed, especially with the thrust here. At least the forward thrust and the side thrust, they're kind of receded in, so they're protected a little better. Here, you know, the rear thrusts, without shields, you got to be real careful, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble quick. So try not to get hit there. It also has, let's see what it has for armaments. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rocket turrets, which is awesome. Plus you got 4 GATs up front, which you're controlling. Around the back, it has, you can get to the ammo controller, as well as, what is this? The O2 station, which is actually really helpful. And of course it's got a shutter there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take on one of the Xerax towers with this and test its mobility along the way. Now I did already fill it up with all the ammunition it needs. It takes a 130mm homing missile and 15mm bullets. Let's turn the oxygen on just for fun. I am in God mode, guys, just for, you know, to make this a little smoother. So there's our rocket turret, our rocket defense, and let's go ahead and try to get there. This is really rough terrain, guys, which is kind of why I wanted to do it. Now, loaded down with ammunition, it is noticeably slower, or at least it runs heavier. So, I mean, you got to strike that balance between having enough ammunition and keeping your mobility, because those rockets get real heavy real quick. So, oof. Yeah, let's hit O to flatten out. Alright, let's go ahead and take on this rocket turret. I want to... There we go. Whoa, see, there we go. Really quick response on the turrets. I like that. And we do have incoming, so we got to maneuver here. And this is rough terrain, so let's go ahead and do our best to knock these things out before we get knocked out. Oh, oh. Come on. I'll take care of this guy. Okay, never mind. Alright, so much for him. Come on. Come on, turrets. Oh, let's get busy. Let's get busy now. Oh, and we're stuck. Okay, this is where we test its responsiveness, and even after taking several direct hits, guys, we... Okay, why are you guys not shooting all of a sudden? What happened to our turrets? Hey, there you are, you're awake. Alright, alright, get him, get him, get him. Come on, and we're stuck, so... Okay, let's get moving. Turrets, turrets, anytime now. Okay then. Okay then. Alright, so... This one, it could be, oops, a mix of my piloting as well as the fact that it doesn't have, it does not have shields, you know, especially in Alpha 12 where they really upped the difficulty of the turrets. These things are a lot harder to kill now. If you look at it, it's got 15,800 points, and we barely scratched it with our rockets, and just blasting it with, with our Gatling gun. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, Spange, I'm sorry I let you down. This is why we were stuck. I should not have come down here. So part of that's my fault. But again, you got to be careful with whichever one you take on. Alright, so what we have in the next lineup here is the MCRN Karkinos, and that is by, let's see, I have it all written down here. That is by a Steam user called TWRX82. Now this seems to be a multi-purpose HV that's kind of built more for carrying stuff rather than armaments. As you can see, I think it only has, yeah, it only has Gatling stuff, and it is slightly over the CPU usage by 300 points, which doesn't make too big of a difference. It's still 97% efficiency. So with this isn't necessarily a battle tank, but there is obviously a lot of upgradeability here. There's definitely some positions up front. You could mount some more rockets, things of that nature, but it is probably best for taking down like really lightly armed POIs, like tier 1 isolated POIs, where you could, if you wanted, just blast them away with your Gatling guns. What I do like on the inside here, it is really well outfitted. So what do we got here? We got the O2 station, we got armor locker, and over on this side we have medic station, and we have, ooh, hang on. That is, okay, the whole thing is the medic station. We have a switch here, which opens the drone hatch. Now the drone hatch, what I really like about this is that you can get out and shoot at drones. It's got an upper door here, so you can come up out on top. And as you can see out on top, it's kind of cool because there's a window. You could actually see what's going on up and, you know, above you if there is a drone. But it's also kind of a vulnerability. It only has 25 hit points, so if a drone's above you and launches a rocket, that is going to go kaboom in no time with 25 hit points. These are all just plain steel blocks. They are not hardened steel, so again, this thing is more about... how much storage space does it have again? Let's see here. Alright, it's got one container controller, and it's got 10,227 volume. Not bad. Not bad at all. So this is kind of a general multi-purpose HV, which I like, so... Ooh, I already opened it. Well, let's see what that does. Hang on. And then, oop. Kind of cool. I like that. So you can jump right out. So yeah, it does have dual access. It's got a clone chamber, which is very helpful. This is your container controller right here. You got your O2 and your fuel and your generator. There's two generators, one on either side, which I like because you keep them separated out. You don't want all of them in one spot in case you take a nasty hit. So what we're going to try to do is go up against drones. Now this thing has a shield on it, which is quite helpful. Considering how lightly armed it is, it would take some time to take down some enemies. So let's test out its responsiveness first. Now, I really like this thing. You can see how crisp the movement is, left to right. It's got a real quick stop. It's got really powerful thrust forward. The rear thrust leaves a little bit to be desired. As you can see, yeah, it's kind of a slow stop there. And that's pretty common, you know, in a lot of HV builds. You know, the forward thrust, the rear thrust is much more important to help you get in or get out of a situation depending on what you're doing. Yeah, I really do like this. So let's go ahead. See, this would be fitting to take down some drones, I believe. That's what we'll try to do here. Let's go ahead and get our... There we go. And what range do we got on here? 339 meters. Let's go ahead and see if we can take these guys on. There we go. Yeah, now we're in range. Weapons are retracted. Oh, good job, Mike. Yeah, how about we do our weapons? That would be really nice. Okay, I gotta get out of wherever we're on. There we go. Let's go. Take you down. Okay, well, our shields don't seem to be doing anything. And did I even turn them on? I did not. Good job, Mike. Okay, well, we'll see how many hits she can take, you know? Alright, we do have our turrets doing some work here. Alright, and let's see, we're already suffering generator overload, which is a problem. That is going to be a major problem, because what all do we have on? Let's see. Warp drive. Nope. Weapon. No. We can turn the signals off. I don't know. Yeah, it takes 3 CPU. Turn the motion sensor off. What else can we turn off? Probably the fridge. Don't need that. Turn that off. Okay, our shields are now up. So let's see about taking down some more drones. Ooh, we fly, we fly. And I love this rough terrain, guys, because it really does test out the ability of the craft to maneuver while under fire. Okay, we got one down. One down. Whoop, whoop-dee. Alright, and we're not going to go near that. I know we can't take it down. There's another defense tower here, which these things are just nasty. Hang on. Can't see. Alright, yeah, we're stuck on the hill here. Alright, let's get going. There we go. We're tagging this thing, and my god, did they up the, Okay, our shields are going down, down, down. They really ups the health on these things. I showed you guys last time. It's kind of ridiculous. Alright. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get this thing in one piece. Nope, certainly not. Yep, okay, our shields have been down. We got to retreat. Whew. And what did they just blow up? Let's go ahead and get level here. What did they just blow up? Okay, some of our side thrust, it looks like. Yeah, they took out 3 of our side thrusters, our right side thrusters. And it appears that the shield generator just doesn't want to play. Why is it not on? Okay, so see guys, that's a problem. The shield generator will overload the generator, which is not good. That is not an ideal situation, so... Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Considering it does have 2 generators, and all of these thrusters seem to be... I'm sure they take just a huge drain on the generators. And again, yeah, our shield is up now. And I just want to see if we can take out one tower, because we're sitting here tagging it only with 15 mil, but yeah, our shields are going down real quick. This is such a challenging area that I picked, but rather than sit here and eat fire, we can still dodge even with some of our thrusters gone. And we do have the minigun turret, which is doing its job, taking down some drones. But yeah, our, see, now our navigation is all screwed up. We needed those thrusters. But we can get out of this. We can get out. We can get out. And guys, the turning, my god, the turning. The turning on all these is terrible, and that is not necessarily a design flaw. That is the update that Elion did to the flight mechanics, which has really turned a lot of people off, including myself. Because I'll show you... Well, first of all, they just really made it almost impossible to get your craft to turn. It's based more on thruster placement now than it is on RCSs, but if you do want to include an RCS, they make it excessively... It's so excessive, the amount of CPU it uses, and I'll show you guys. So we might even have an RCS in here. Do we? No, there's no RCS, so I'll show you if we do put an RCS in. We're already over CPU, but I mean, it's just really, it really turned me off. So let's go ahead and find it. It's the RCS for HVs. Take one of these. What's the CPU usage? Okay, on this one it's 350, which, you know, for an HV can be a lot. So we do that. Let's go ahead and place it. I'll just tuck it anywhere right here. Oh, shield's got to be off. Which is an interesting mechanic, but okay. So let's just chuck it right there. And see, we're already over CPU, but oh, good. Something got blown up. I wonder what we lost. What did we lose? Okay, yeah, we lost the thrusters, so that'll take the CPU down by quite a bit. But now, okay, we got ourselves an RCS. The turning, slightly better. Slightly better. Now, on the last playthrough I had, if you want a tier 2 CPU in your CV, it's 1.2 million CPU, and it doesn't even help that much. So they don't give you an option. The turning is the flight mechanics are a mess. They don't give you an option really to fix it. So it's just kind of a lose-lose situation. So this, I don't know about this HV, guys. I think it's a good attempt. It's a good all-purpose CV, but having the CPU way over like that just isn't... It's just not that helpful. And especially when you turn the shields on, you know, then you have a generator meltdown, and that's not ideal either. So this is probably going to go in the no pile, but I do enjoy the design of it. I like the convenience, the way it's built. I just wouldn't use it for like a main battle tank, and you'd have to use the shield sparingly to keep the generators from overloading. So, but again, I'm just kind of maneuvering around here, even with those missing thrusters. It's still pretty crisp. It's still pretty crisp movement. So, thank you for the submission. I'm probably not going to use this one, but let's get on to the next. So, next up in line, we have the Creel Empyrion Alpha 12 Experimental, and this was submitted by a viewer on the channel, Dominic Ross, who also has been very active in a lot of the campaigns. And this is his design for the Creel series that Jay Randall runs, and it's a submission which I think is a very, very good recreation of the spirit of the Creel craft. It's very alien looking in design. It's got this elegant piping, little things like this I really appreciate in a build. You know, he didn't have to do that and texture it the way he did, but he did. It's got a very it looks alive. This thing, it looks alive, and it looks as though it could do some damage. And I like this. This is a nice touch as well back here. That could be, you know, like the fuel tanks or just whatever that possibly is. So let's have a look at the front here. Now, this is made only of steel blocks. There is some hardened steel right here in the middle, which will cost you some titanium for the builds. Let's have a look at the ingredients here. The ingredients actually are not all that expensive. This is a level 10 build, so it's obviously not going to be too expensive. 5 Neo, you could find that pretty much anywhere. Titanium rods, 52, that's not bad at all. And the rest of these ingredients, that's pretty standard. You could probably get this thing built after you find like your second or third deposits when you set up your base. That These ingredients are easy. And, you know, you would need some titanium to upgrade this to hardened steel blocks, which is concerning also because of the fact that it doesn't have shields. There's no shields on this thing either, which is fine as long as you're a better pilot than I am and can actually maneuver it to dodge all the incoming. It is a regular cockpit. It is not armored. So another concern, but I mean, the way it looks, the way the thrusters are protected like that, they are behind, you know, this main block here, our turrets, to take the brunt of the damage. And you see how far underneath these are. Those are really well protected. Especially since this thing is going to rely more on mobility than anything else. It does have 2 rocket turrets and 2 minigun turrets, as well as 2 Gatlings up front. So yeah, you're really going to be relying mostly on maneuverability. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that POI back here where we got Spange's skip ray trashed, and we're going to see if we can finish that thing off. Again, this isn't something you want to take up against a really heavily armed POI, but we did soften it up. Under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't use this one to attack it, but for maybe like just some level 1, you know, like oxygen depots, things of that nature, that aren't always that well armed. Let's have a look here. It handles beautifully. Let's hit O. It feels light. The rear thrust leaves a little bit to be desired, because this is me on the full rear thrust. So if you're trying to get out of a situation, you're going to have to do side to side or front, which is fine. Because typically you don't rely on your rear thrust, but I would like to see a little bit more here. But the turning is actually fantastic on this, and I don't know if it has an RCS or not. It is well under the CPU limits, so let's check. Oh, I always do that. Oh, wow. Yeah, there are 5 RCSs, guys. So, even though they did nerf the RCS, that explains this. This is, you know, for Alpha 12, this thing turns amazingly. Before the Alpha 12 update, this would have been considered kind of slow, but I'm actually really impressed that he fit everything that he fit inside this. It's a really efficient design. So, let's go ahead and take her over the rough terrain here. Yeah, there we go. And we are reloaded. So let's go ahead and not fall in the pit this time. We can definitely skip around it. We can just take... Oof. Yeah, we're taking incoming. So let's not make the same mistake here. Not make the same mistake. Come on, rocket turrets. Come alive. There we go. Come alive. Come alive. Let's get down. Get down. Let them fire. Oh, yeah. See, this isn't good. And that is not the fault of the design. This is an Empyrion thing, which is infuriating. So why are... Okay, we just lost almost all of our rear thrust. There we go. There we go. Yeah, again, see, we're just taking heavy fire. There we go. Did we get it? Alright, hit him. Alright, blew one up. Oh! Oh! That hurts. We just collapsed the entire thing. Well done. Well done. Okay, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this. Skip ray, go away. You're dead. Okay, only one of our turrets seems to be alive. So, let's keep moving. Keep her moving. We are heavily damaged, guys. Oh, there we go. We got both our rocket turrets going. We have lost all rear thrust now, so... Lost all rear thrust, so we are focusing... Oh, did we get them? Can't be too many... They can't take too many more. I can guarantee that. Come on, come on. We got this. Mobility, mobility. And I can't... we've lost the ability for me to actually aim that high up. Okay, let's finish this guy off. Come on, come on. Come on, rockets. You got this. You got this. Maybe we'll just collapse... We'll collapse the balcony again. Okay, we gotta go like this. Oh god, we are so heavily damaged, guys. Basically, we can go side to side and forward, so we're gonna have to make that work. Okay, come on. Can't hit me, can't hit me. Alright, we gotta turn. Gotta turn. And I'm guessing we lost some of our RCSs as well. Okay, there goes a rocket turret. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. This is for Dominic. Oh, Dominic. Come on. Get your rocket turret to fire. It's not your fault. I know, but we're... Oh, we're so close to... Oh, we're so close. Come on. Come on. Okay, there. Hey, you woke up. We are down to the rocket turrets. And it... Yeah, that looks like they blew up our GATs as well. And that's it. That's it. So, yeah, you don't want to take it up against this particular POI. It could, I'm sure it could easily handle. And there we go. There we go. In a blaze of glory. Blaze of glory. This is going in the maybe pile, guys, because I really like the design. And, you know, if you take this out, there is probably room for a pentaxid tank and a shield generator if you just modify it cleverly. I think it's possible. If this thing had a shield on it, we would have taken this place down no problem. No problem at all. How much damage do we actually do? We took out the one turret by collapsing. You see, yeah, we had it real close. We had it real close. It's down to 1,696, and we did ding this one a bit. Wow. 1,073, so... Yeah, the artillery turrets, these are the bastards. These are the ones that are 1,580 hit points. This one's only 5,000. It's a rocket turret. So, alright, well, so that is the Creel. I feel so sorry. The Creel Mugina. Thank you, Dominic, for the submission. Very interesting design, very clever use of piping and whatnot. So let's go ahead and move. Oh boy, I did it this time. Let's go ahead and move on to our last contender, one I'm really looking forward to, guys. Alright, guys, here she is. This is the one that I'm dreaming about for our next playthrough. This is definitely an endgame HV tank. This is the MCRN Ballista Tier 4, submitted by Dominic Ross. And this was made by, I believe, yes, this is a build of Jay Randall, so you know it is going to be good. Now, it does have max guns, so let's go ahead and count them up here. Look at this. We got 2, 4, 6 minigun turrets. We got 1, 2, we got 4 plasma turrets. There's another 2 tucked on the side here. 4 rocket turrets and an artillery turret. This thing is a beast. Well, not to mention up here, we got the 4 GATs. One thing I really do like about it, it does also, similar to, what was it? I think it was the Karkinos, has the upper door here, so you have an alternate escape route, or just an alternate way out if you need to deal with drones, or if you get, depending on how you attach to, let's say, a CV, you would have a different way out. And it does have, I believe, where are they? It has docking pads up here, possibly on top. I thought I saw them. Maybe that was a different one. Okay, so it doesn't have upper docking pads, but that is easy enough to do. Well, actually, it wouldn't work with the artillery turret here. It's non-retractable. But in any case, this is the big bad one now. Let's see, we got the thrust on this. It has to be good, and it is. It's large thrusters, tier 2. A lot of them are recessed here, so at least the side thrust is protected. These are also protected fairly well from frontal fire, anyway. These are all combat steel blocks, guys. They are heavy, they're expensive, but, you know, in this case, you get what you pay for. A lot of side thrusts, a lot of rear thrusts. I'm sorry, forward thrusts. And a fair amount, yeah, because we do have some protected thrusters back there, and I like that he chose to put the shutters over it, because that does provide an extra layer of protection, even though this thing is shielded. So we're going to put this thing through its paces and probably wreck some stuff. Let's go ahead and have a look inside. And obviously to our left here, we got the drone hatch. Again, just like the last, kind of like the other build. So let's go ahead and shut that. Does it work? Yes, it works. Excellent. Okay, and over here, medic station. We got access to a constructor, cargo box, another cargo box, a fridge. Very nice. Does it have, let's see, what is this? Thrusters. Nice, I love the custom switches. Exterior lights, storage bay, ammo bay, harvest bay, thrusters. See, everything's labeled, everything's clear. You don't have to come in and start looking around being like, well, what does this do? I don't know what I'm doing here. This is our armor locker. Oh my god. It looked like somebody's head was in there. I was like, oh, dude, are you okay? And stuff them in the locker. And one of my favorite features of this is the clone chamber. So in other words, you take down a POI. You're taking down a POI. You defang it with this thing, and you're going in. You die. You spawn right back, and you have access to your inventory and everything else. Love it. Clever design. There's the Pentaxa tank, polarized hull shields. And it's a completely protected cockpit. So you're behind a lot of steel here, guys. See, since I'm in God mode, I can show you. See, all of this they have to get through, that combat steel block. And that's assuming they even are able to take down your shields. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's have a look at the stats. It is expensive, guys, but again, you get what you pay for. There's a lot of carbon substrate to make it, you know, light where he could, especially on the inner parts, which I really appreciate. Such efficient use of the materials. A lot of iron, a lot of sathium, a lot of copper. Sathium is a little bit harder to come by now, although you can still get it from POIs, you know, just tossing blocks into the factory. That still works for that, so not a big deal. The Neo, you probably have to go hunting for some. It'd be difficult to get that much. Well, by the time you get this thing, what is going on? Oh, good. It's fire rain. This place is just a real joy. Yeah, by the time you get to level 20, you'll have these materials. So, obviously, this isn't a starter vessel. Main, it is well under the CPU usage because it is tier 4. Thank God. Now, does he have RCSs in here? I know I'm kind of nitpicky about this. Okay, so no RCS, so you could put them in if you wanted. So let's test its maneuverability first. Okay, it's got crisp. Okay, crisp forward thrust. Again, a little bit concerning on the rear thrust, which, you know, you can make use of. I make use of a lot when I'm attacking POIs, doing forward and back. Kind of doing the square to keep the turrets confused. Kind of doing this thing, a little more of a circle, really. Just to kind of keep them, you know, swing and a miss. But otherwise, side thrust is crisp. Left to right, look at that. Stops nearly on a dime. I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get the shields up. I don't know if fire rain hurts us or not. Alright. Yep, everything here is full. Let's fill it all up. Yeah, and I've already pre-filled all the weapons on this. So we got 15 mil, plasma charge, 130 millimeter homing missile, and artillery shell. Now, I want to make sure that these things are doing the right thing. So let's go to turrets. Take them off a generator, apply to group so they focus on the turrets. Now, I want to make sure that our artillery turret is loaded before we get there, because that takes a while to load. Oh, I love the artillery turret. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go for the deep space radar complex and see just how long this thing can hold up against all of these towers. It's going to be an interesting fight, and this is the real reason that I wanted to start here. Because there's drones, there's defense towers, there's, well, basically everything. So we'll see how this thing handles in the rough terrain. Now, we do have the harvest module if things get a little out of hand. And we are having some trouble getting up and over the rough terrain, which, you know, is expected. Let's go ahead, get this out of the way. There we go. Now we can't, let's do it. Let's see how quick this thing can take down obstacles. Oh, that's right. We can't do rocks, Mike. Can't do rocks. Okay. All right, guys. Let's come alive now. Get ready. I'm going to switch to my Gatling guns. Oh, there we go. Kaboom. Out of the sky. Out of the sky. Let's go ahead and take on this turret first. Alright, the shields are holding up beautifully so far. Oh, we're stuck. Get out, get out, get out. Come on now, you got this. Still at 97% shields, they're not landing many hits. Alright, we took out the defense tower. That's easy. In a large minigun drone. Now, see, this is a challenge. We gotta get up out of this trench. Come on, we got this. We got this. Okay, come on. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up. Come on. Oh, update. Update. Oh, you got it. You got it. You got it. We got it. We're gonna do it. Okay, at least the turrets are alive. Okay. Next, defense tower. Oh, we took out the defense tower. One shot. Alright, taking out the Xerax. The ground troops there. We are getting shot. Probably by a Xerax patrol, I believe. Who's just really struggling against our shields. Who did that? Who did that? Okay. Yeah, this thing is just a wrecking machine. Let's go ahead and take out the advanced rocket defense. This is the same kind of POI that we were facing before. And it is really burning up our shit. We just collapsed it again. Like, the hell with blowing it up. We'll just collapse the tower's platform. I love that. I absolutely love that. And we're stuck. So, yeah, if you can get this thing out of, you know, the rough terrain, it will wreck. It will destroy. Oh, shit. Yeah, you see that? You see that? There's no chance. No chance. No chance. This thing is a wrecking ball. Let's go ahead and take that out. See if we can collapse the rest of it. No. Okay, our artillery turret is interested in something to our left. What could it be? There's no POIs there. Let's go ahead. Is that it? Did we get them? See, this is why I wish this would be like an early game dream for me if this thing just dropped from the sky. Because it is a heavy battle tank. Now the others are, again, their stated purpose isn't to take out an entire complex of you know, enemy territory, but it is a very good way just to clear out any POI that you want. I mean, they just had no chance whatsoever. So I want to try to get to this one as well. Take on a brand new advanced rocket turret or rocket defense tower. There we go. Yeah, we got good terrain. Now, if we get up speed, I imagine that the terrain won't be that much of a problem. Yeah, see, we're fine now, as long as we get moving. The trick is just not to get it caught in any valleys, which, you know, depending on the planet you're on, you may not have a choice. So, ooh, let's aim for the strip of land here. Yep, get it up and over. Advanced rocket turret with some drones attached to it. So let's see what this thing has. Let's see. Yeah, you're done. You're all done. Come on, artillery. Boom! Nailed it. Oh, this thing has no chance. And we can actually use this pit down here for a little bit of defense. Oh god, I love it. It just collapses. It collapses the platform rather than kill the turret. It's got that much power. Oh my god, this is disgusting. I love it. I love it. Oh god. Jay Randall, you beautiful bastard. I love this thing. I absolutely love it. Collapsed. Collapsed. Yeah, let me access this. I'm gonna further collapse this thing. Oh, that didn't do it. Alright, one more shot. I want to take this thing down all the way since we did collapse it. There we go. Okay, guys, that is the MCRN Ballista. This thing is a wrecking machine, and I can't wait to get it. So, I think the finalists here, and I'll make the decision when we get there. It's going to be either probably the Creel Mugina, or the other one that we did with the shields. I believe it was the Karkinos. Possibly. I'm looking at my list here. Yeah, the Empyrion Karkinos or the Skip Ray. I'll make a decision and let you guys know when we get there, but this is the field trials. Actually, the Karkinos is one that I decided I'm not going to do because it is overloaded on the generator. This thing is a shoo-in for when we hit level 20. So this one is definitely going to be it, and there's going to be, obviously, we're going to use more than one HV throughout the playthrough. So this is a finalist. I believe I will probably use the Creel Mugina by Dominic Ross. I do believe it has some good upgradeability, and you know, so does the Skip Ray by Spange. So we'll see. My big concern with any, you know, hover tank is the shields. The shields and maneuverability. Now, obviously, on the starting planets, it's not going to be this rough, rocky terrain, so we'll be able to maneuver much better and get better shots, you know, kind of dodge the shots coming from enemy POIs. And they're not going to be like these advanced defense towers either, so we don't really have to worry about that. So that's going to be it for HVs. Thank you all for your submissions, and for all the builders who did this. I'm always in awe of you guys because I'm a garbage builder. And you'll see that next when we do SVs, because I've included one of my own designs. So, alright, let's get on with it. On to SVs. Okay, guys, and now we're moving on to SVs. Now, we have 5 choices in front of us. Again, there were a few more submitted. However, I can't do all of them. Just for the sake of the brevity of this video, I picked the top ones. We have, let's go through the lineup here. These are also by Dominic Ross. He was submitted by Dominic Ross, and he built them. And I gotta say, for what they are, they're actually quite nice. Now, there's 2 variations here of the, what is this called? This is the, I'm sorry, guys. Yes, it's the S17 Freedom Tier 1. And a variant, a T2 variant, the S110 Freedom Tier 2. So we're going to start out with these, because this is, I believe, a level 7 craft, if I am looking correctly here. Yeah, so it's a good starter vessel. Now, as far as devices goes, it is pretty light on, it's light on armament. It's obviously not designed to be a fighter craft, but it does have, I believe, 2 Gatling guns. It is made only of steel blocks, not hardened steel, anything like that, so it's not something you'd want to get in a fight in, but it could be an early game scout vessel. And in addition, it does have a fridge, it has an armor locker, and an O2 station, so pretty efficient use of the space. And here, we have a switch. There we go. And a shutter to protect that. Obviously, we got a detector on here too, so yes, it would make a great scout craft for level 7, which isn't hard to do starting out. And we have a target. What are you? I started on an arid planet here. Oh, I'll be right with you, Desert Worm. Hang on. Just wait. Alright, see? Not so bad. As far as maneuverability goes, I am really impressed with this thing. It stops, it goes. It's the forward and rear thrust are really responsive. Again, the turning is actually really, really good, considering the flight mechanics that they put in. Now, I don't know if there's an RCS in this thing. Let's go ahead and see. No RCSs, and which is really impressive to me because the fact that it does turn so well. And again, the slow turning isn't a design flaw, guys. It's not a design flaw. It's something the developers did to try to focus more on the thrusters, which has turned out to be quite a disaster, especially with CVs and HVs. But this thing seems to work okay. So, you know, if you did want to scout, let's say, bing, rocket drone, it can dodge for sure, right? Dodge, dip, dive, duck, dodge. Yep, okay, they don't want to play, so that's alright. But hey, we can definitely at least scout out POIs. You know, if you run into a drone problem, you could definitely take them on, I'm sure. Where are they? They're saying they're here, but they're not here. Oh, they're just sitting there. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, you woke up. Alright, and there doesn't seem to be defenses on this one, are there? That's fine. So, yeah, guys, this one is a great starter scout. Let's see, what kind of storage space does it have in here? Okay, it doesn't have a container controller for cargo. It just has the ammo and the fridge, which is fine. Again, if you're using it as a scout craft, you know, you can actually go long distances with it due to the fact it does have a fridge and an O2 station if you are on a planet with no oxygen such as this one. It is quite useful. So we're going to go ahead and park it. Whoa, whoa, whoa there. Oh, hey, hey. So, yes, this one I think would be a really good early scout vehicle. And, you know, it does have some upgradeability too, but, you know, you could also just go for its variant, the Tier 2, which has 4 Gatling guns, and I believe it has some RCSs as well. Let me check that. I think that is true, and I always do that. Yes, it has 2 RCSs. It comes in well under the CPU usage, which means, to me, upgradeability. You couldn't quite fit a shield generator on there because I believe the shield generator is 6,000 CPU, so you would be going over. But for a Tier 2, let's go ahead and test it out. Got the guns reloaded. Again, really crisp handling, guys. Very crisp handling. Oh, great. This is fun. But hey, we can take this thing on. And troop transports, man, they got girthy. The girth on them is amazing. And you just dropped off troops right next to my landing zone when I'm trying to make a video. Stupid Xerax. Haven't you ever heard of YouTube? There. Hell out of here. Now, who did you drop off? I don't want them around here. Let's take them out if we can. This will be a nice test. Okay, they don't seem to be around. I just don't want them attacking the craft while I'm gone. You didn't do that, did he? No, they're not here. So again, this one, it's got a little more oomph to it. So if you did want to take on a really lightly armed POI, let's see here. I don't believe this one is armed, but yeah, there's a bunker turret here. Let's go ahead and go for that one. Single turret. You know, if you wanted to do it, you could definitely get some maneuverability out of it. Whoa, whoa. Had some frames. Whoop, dip, duck, ow. Yeah, you can outmaneuver the turrets easily. If you're a better pilot than I am, of course. So, yeah, if you wanted to do that, you absolutely could. And probably take this thing out if you hover above it long enough. Actually, we're out of range, so let's go ahead and do this. Oh, and we got some Xerax ground troops as well. Oh, taking fire. Dip, duck, dodge, dive. Man, that thing, it must be an artillery turret. That's probably why it's taking forever. And my poor aiming. There we go. Nope. What is that, drone? Oh, another fortification. Okay. So, let's see. I think we could take this thing out. Whoop. What are you doing now? There you are. Minigun drone. Come on. This thing is, like, really crisp and responsive. Like, I almost want to adjust the mouse sensitivity for it. Especially if you're trying to keep on target, you can easily go off. But are we going to damage you to death? That's what I want to know. Yeah, let's try it. We could do it. I know we could do it. Oh, we got that other fortification firing at us. Got it. Nailed it. Okay, so yeah, you could. You could take out some light fortifications. I mean, they did really up the girthiness of these POIs, especially if you run into the artillery turrets. Again, 15,000 hit points. That's a lot. So, let's talk about storage on this thing. Obviously, we got the ammo controller and the fridge. So, again, no storage, but a good light scout craft. And if you wanted to take on a lightly armed POI, you could absolutely do that. You just wouldn't be able to carry any loot with you unless you stuff it in the fridge or the ammo controller. So obviously not something that it's if you're looking to actually loot a POI, but for something small like that fortification we took on, there's probably not going to be much in there, if anything. So again, this thing has an armored cockpit where this version of it over here, the tier 1, does not. And it also has hardened steel blocks. So again, it is a little bit better suited to take on some light POIs. No shield generator, obviously, but that's fine. So, on to the next one. This is another in the Creel series, produced by Dominic Ross, who I consider a friend of the channel. Very Creel-like. It's got just this alien look to it, and of course some really good piping. You gotta have the piping. And since we got an enemy transport approaching, let's go ahead and deal with that first, and see where it's coming from. And we can explore the rest of this thing in a bit. It has 4 Gatling guns. It does not have pentaxa tanks, so there's no shields and no warp drive on it. But as far as being a light fighter, or again, you know, if you wanted to get in a scrap with some Xerax drones, or possibly a troop transport, or take out some ground troops, this would be a decent choice to do so. Now, where is that enemy troop transport? There he is. He's coming in from the south. Let's go see if we can take this guy down before he drops his load, if you know what I mean. Alright, come on. Come on. No, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Flying backwards, did you know that? Come on. Now you're upside down, I believe. No, you're not dropping troops here. I'm busy. I'm busy. You didn't hear me the first time. Okay, so maneuverability, very crisp, much like the other ones. It does run a little bit heavier than your, you know, the first 2 that I showed you, but again, it is larger, and the Creel style design is great. The one thing that I'm not necessarily a fan of, these thrusters are very much exposed, so you know they're not receded, but this is one where you would count on maneuverability rather than, you know, armor protection. I like the skull underneath. That's actually really cool. Nice touch. The piping, such elegant piping, like I said before. I'm a fan of it. It's a must if you want any decent design, of course. So let's go ahead and head over to this armory, which I believe does have turrets, or it should, and see how it handles. Okay, the rear thrust, yeah, let's go like this. Gotta get a better view here of this thing. So, you know, if you did want to take on, yeah, there's armory. This thing is armed. Can you, and will you? Oh, yep, there we go. Good maneuverability. There we go. You can take down a drone, kind of dodge fire, if you wanted to. Especially attacking death from above style, so the turrets can't get you. Which is kind of gamey, but you know, all of us, I think, at one point have had to do this. Just stand right above them to where they can't shoot you, and just rain hell down upon them. Now, these should not have as much HP as the artillery turrets, although I can't be sure. I believe these plasma turrets, or the laser turrets, have 5,000 hit points. There we go. So yeah, you could defang a lightly armed POI such as the Xerax Armory. Let's have a look at storage. I'll avoid the listening post for now. Let's see, storage. Container controller. Okay, you can hold a 2875. Now I wonder. Okay, and it's got a fridge. Excellent. So you could take this thing on a trip. As far as upgradeability goes, there really isn't much room here for it. Like if you wanted to add a warp drive or shields, it would have to be a whole other parts of the ship. You would have to add on to it, I think. Because this thing is kind of standalone as is. You know, what you see is what you get. And I like that in a design. So this is definitely in the maybe pile. And let's have a look again at some of the stats here. Fairly cheap to build. Iron ingot 306, carbon substrate 319. So yeah, for level 7, this thing is actually it's a good deal for level 7, especially if you want that speed and maneuverability and just a really cool design. It's fun. It's fun to fly. It's fun to have on hand. This thing, we didn't look at the ingredients. Really cheap. 130 iron, 290 carbon substrate, nothing above 300. Not bad at all. And this one, of course, is a little bit more expensive. This one you need Neo for, titanium rods, and some cobalt. And that's for probably the medium thrusters, as well as the armor on it. This thing, let's see if we can go intercept a troop transport. Does it have any weapons at all? I don't recall. Yes, it does. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. See if we can take down that troop transport. Did we arm it? Yeah, it's got 15 mil. 215 mil. This one isn't really designed. I'll show you the inside. This is an SV that has an internal compartment, which I really like. The turning, guys. The turning is atrocious. Thank you, Elion. Not your fault. This one is the Merc MX5E by Jay Randall. And let me make sure that's right. Yeah, this is a design by Jay Randall. It was submitted by Joseph Clemente. So thank you for that. This isn't necessarily your fighter type. Ooh boy, you get away. You get away. See if we can stop them. These troop transports really got stepped up. I don't really know where their weak point is. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, God. The turning. I would like to see an RCS in this. I'm going to go ahead and have a look in a minute. Alright. Wow. This thing can take a beating. I love it. They used to be really easy to shoot down. Now they're just apparently really heavily armored. Kaboom! Alright, so let's see. Make sure they didn't actually... It didn't look like they actually dropped any troops. Did they? Yeah, the rotation on this, guys, leaves a lot to be desired. It may have an RCS in it, so let's go ahead and have a look. Since we did get interrupted, let me set it down so I can show you the internal compartments. And this is one I believe I am considering for a early to mid-game SV, because there is upgradable... It has upgradeability, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and have a look in the back. You got the internal compartment back here, which I really like in an SV. You got, here we go. Instructions for upgrading to Tier 3. This is brilliant. I love it. You remove the Tier 2 CPU block and add 2 Tier 3 CPU blocks. Add 2 generators. Add shield to the S. So it's all marked in here where you can upgrade. And I love that. It's just a really good design. Let's see, what do we got up here? G, so that's for the generators. Add shield for the S, add constructor, C. So, yeah, guys, I like that. It kind of holds your hand, and it really gets across the concept of what the builder wanted you to do. So, as far as internals here, what do we got? We got a short-range warp drive, which I like. No shields, but we do have the warp drive. So if you did want to make a jaunt to, let's say, I don't know, the next planet, and you don't want to build a CV, you could easily survive in this thing for a while. It has armor locker, O2 station, more switches, the drone hatch, which is really common in Jay Randall's build. So if you want to get out and take care of some drones, you can. It's got an alternate way out. Of course, we got the fridge. There is the core, fairly well protected, which I like. What else do we got here? Okay, that's a fuel tank. That's a fuel tank. CPU extenders right there, and they told you how to deal with that. Now, the volume on this could definitely, it holds some. Oh wait, that's the Creel. Let's go ahead and do the Merc MX5E. Yeah, the cargo box, it's got 3 cargo boxes with, I think that's 250. Hang on, let me... There we go. Yeah, with 250 space each, but you also have a container controller that can hold 10,000. Now, what I want to test is how much weight it can carry. So, let's go ahead and do this. I have one of the heaviest items in the game. Oops. Yeah, we can't even do 4,000, so let's Let's try this. Okay, this is 44 tons. Let's do this. No, still, that was the wrong thing to do. Still over. Okay, we got 8,000. Alright, we're gonna add this. This is some of the heavier stuff in the game, so let's try to get this up as far as it will go to get a stress test on this thing. So let's see how it handles, pardon me, and we can also use some devices too, things that you would likely loot from a place or want to carry with you if you were moving planets. With this, you wouldn't be able to take much with you, just because of the volume limit, not necessarily the mass. Okay. That's close enough. We're just 26 over. Let's see how she handles. She handles beautifully. Handles absolutely beautifully. So let's try this. Let's get something real heavy. Let's go to devices. What's real heavy here? 595 kilograms. No. I know it's heavy. Let's do something like a deconstructor. That thing's heavy. Yeah, 14.7 tons. So, yeah. No, I can't get it. Why not? Okay, there we go. I gotta get rid of stuff, Mike. That's what it is. Yeah, deconstructor. I'll take a couple of these. Because they take up 1,280. Yeah, 1,280 volume. So let's go ahead and try to test that. We'll get this out of here. Let's see how you handle this. Can you handle that? Yes. And now we're at 59.1 tons. So let's get rid of this. And try to put another deconstructor in. And yet another deconstructor in. And yet another deconstructor in. Alright guys, we're at 81 tons, so let's go ahead and top that off. That's going to be real heavy. Let's see how she handles with this, because I'm not going to test this against a POI, because that's just not what this is. It's not built for that. Alright, 84.4 tons. Okay, now I'm kind of feeling it. We're running a little bit heavy, but the thrust, it's got a lot of downward thrust, and I believe those are medium tier 2 thrusters, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's thruster S, thruster forward, thruster down. Yeah, those are medium thrusters and also the thruster jets. So it does have a lot of downward thrust, so we're good there. Now stopping, going forward and backward. Okay. It actually goes backwards pretty good for how much weight we're carrying. So this could be a real option for us as far as a cargo hauler. It doesn't carry as much as my Ugly Mule, but it has a lot more amenities than the Ugly Mule. And what does this cost exactly? Let's have a look at its stats. It is a level 10. Fair amounts. The only real rares you have here, semi-rares, are Cobalt, which is about 250, 14 Titanium Rods, and 10 Neo. You can find that real easily. So that's fine. So yes, guys, I think for all the weight we have packed in it, I am impressed. And I'm sure there is room to extend the cargo if you wanted to. If you got creative, both on the inside and maybe around the outside or back, you could add some more extensions. So I'm pleased with this, as with every J. Randall build. My only complaint, again, is the turning. If we added some RCSs to it, which I believe we could. Okay, yeah, we could add maybe one RCS, one tier 1 RCS, if we wanted to. And what would that look like? Let's see what that does, because that's something I would probably do. So let's go to small vessel. And that would be especially valuable. Oops. especially valuable when you have a lot of stuff. So let's go inside here. I'm just going to tuck it wherever just to test. Let's go ahead and put it right there. Alright, what does that do for us, CPU-wise? We are still just under the CPU, so we could get away with an RCS. And yeah, that does improve the turning a little bit. God, Elion, you guys got to do something about this. This is just insane. I mean, you could just do the rotate and like that. That's actually faster if you go like this. Just do the yaw left or yaw right. But, I mean, I like to be able to turn. You know, it's... Oh, man, we're heavy. Yeah, we're running heavy here, but she still does it. She still does it, so... the only modification would be an RCS, which obviously we can get away with CPU-wise, and that would be just fine. Oop-dee. Oh, man. Alright, hit O and level out. Alright, so bravo. A+. A+. Mwah. Alright, let's go. Last is one of my own inventions. Now, I told you guys... well, let's go ahead and get back to daytime here. I told you guys I was not a skilled shipbuilder, but this represents, guys, the best of my ability. This is a Tier 3 heavy fighter called the Ugly Trevor, which my godson helped me name, because it is ugly. It does, however, have piping that glows, and well, see, I forgot to glow that piping too. Embarrassing, but it is a heavy fighter. Tier 3, a lot of thrust in all directions, and just basically a huge armored block to help absorb any blows to the cockpit, as well as these little shark teeth here. Now, outside of being like a cosmetic, kind of cool looking thing, well, at least I think it's cool looking. I don't know what you guys think. It can deflect and block a lot of shots to the cockpit, which is armored, of course, but yeah, so it basically absorbs damage without obstructing your view too much. It has 6 rocket launchers, and this is kind of where all the CPU comes from, why it has to be a Tier 3. 8 Gatling guns. And what other amenities? I don't believe I put many in. Let's see. It has 4 RCSs, generators, fuel tanks. It has the shield, of course. And what else? Life support. What did I include in life support? We got a fridge, and we got O2 tanks. So nothing too crazy, but we can go inside here. You can see my design. The core is well protected. There is room in here if you wanted to do surgery, if anything you might want to add. Obviously, it's kind of hollow in the middle, and that was by design to kind of lighten the weight. And back here, this is where like the guts of it are, so it's well protected. And the style, I was somewhat inspired by a TIE fighter, you know, Star Wars TIE fighter. I wanted to do something kind of like that, but that was just otherwise a beast. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead. We're over CPU a little bit, but it's not enough to really affect it, apparently. We're still at 100%. So we have let's power on. We'll get the shields on. The generators, they do okay. Let's go ahead and fill. Oh, actually, I wanted to do the 15mm bullet as well, not 5 million missiles, as much as I like that. But yeah, guys, the 6 rocket launchers means that this thing can basically take down most POIs. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'll take out... There we go. Okay, yeah, it can't necessarily hold that. I'm in God mode, which is why it's allowing me to put so many in. But I don't want to do that. I want to show you what it can realistically hold. So let's take half of these and another half of these. Let's say you got 500. 500 rockets, not bad. So let's go ahead and reload. Okay, it is reloaded. And you can see, guys, the little shark teeth, they don't obstruct your view too badly, but they do absorb a small amount of damage because they are made of hardened steel blocks, but of course them being small, it really cuts down on their health points. Now, what I don't like about this is it does have some exposed thrusters, the 2 on the left, far left and far right. The others are protected by the shutters. In the back and side, they're fairly well protected. kind of by the GATs, the Gatling guns, which can take a little bit of damage. Again, the top, they are exposed, the bottom is exposed, but if you keep the front towards the enemy, as you should, then you do okay. So let's go ahead and try to hit the armory. And maybe the spaceport, because this thing, it can actually move quite well for how heavy it is. And again, guys, when I say heavy fighter, it's a freaking heavy fighter. So there we are, armory. All right, let's get this. Maneuverability, again, pretty sluggish on the going left and right. But again, it's got great yaw, and for the fact that it isn't as mobile as a lot of other ones, I like to think is offset by the fact that it's so heavily armed and it does have a shield. As you guys know, 6 rockets to a turret, you'll take it down pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and get this. Ooh, there you are. There you are. So, boom. And we're just blowing everything up. The shields are holding up remarkably well. They're not really hitting us. Oh, okay, and there we go. That turret's down. We already killed the other one, right? Okay, good. Good, good. So let's go ahead and hit up these as well. This thing can take down a lot. If you want to take down multiple POIs, you can do that. It does have 1,500 storage volume, of course, in the fridge. So you could do some light looting with it. And it does have the thrust and power to carry it, whatever, no matter how heavy that 1,500 is. So let's go ahead. Here we go. Boom! Oh, no. Can't get me. Can't get me. And if I could hit you, that'd be great. Okay, that's done. Alright, next. I've never actually used this in a playthrough. I built it a long time ago. And, okay, and you're dead. Wow. Alright, who's next? Spaceport. Likely going to be some drones. Let's see. Yep, drones. So let's switch to our 8 GATs. Shouldn't take many shots with this thing. When you got 8 Gatling guns, it doesn't take much. Yeah, boom, done. Alright. And it appears that this thing doesn't have any guns. Man, a lot of the POIs on this planet do not have guns. But we can make ourselves an opening. I'm sure that door is locked, so if you wanted to get in there, kaboom! And blow up everything else while you're at it. Is it bad guys? Is it bads? I'm sure there's gotta be. Oh, there they are. There you are. There you are. I see you. You're dead. Right? No. Okay, that'll do you. That's probably a waste of rockets, guys. I didn't need to do that, but it felt good, so I did it. Alright. So this, guys, is the Ugly Trevor, and this, what level is this? I forget. It's tier 3, so it's going to be up there. Level 12. Not bad if you can get the ingredients. It has a lot of titanium. That's the only problem. So if you have a good source of titanium, you can make this, because it's all hardened steel blocks, guys. So if they can get past the shields, they still have the hardened steel blocks to really take the damage, and it's double hold for the most part, meaning that there's 2 layers of hardened steel blocks. Hence the excessive amount of thrusters, which is the real reason why it's CPU 3, because these are all like medium and I think like 1x3x2 thrusters, but it's a lot. But it has to be. So for a heavy fighter, I might try this out, guys. I've never actually used this in any playthrough, either on or off camera. So it would be a nice alternative to a tank if you can't really build a tank, a hover tank. So these are the candidates. Now, guys, for the early game, rather than build the spy glider, which has, no defense, no storage or anything like that, I think what I'm going to do is build the S-17 Freedom Tier 1. So thank you to Dominic Ross for the submission. I'm probably going to forego the Creole Inugami, just for the simple fact that when I upgrade my SV, I want it to be either a cargo hauler or a fighter, and this doesn't quite have either of them. It could be a really good scout plane. you know, an alternative to, it's a level 7, and so is this. So if I wanted a level 7 Scoutcraft, this one's actually more heavily armed. But it just doesn't have the same maneuverability. It's a great one, don't get me wrong. Any criticism I have, keep in mind that I included these in the video because I do like them. So please don't be upset for any criticism. I try to make it constructive, but it just doesn't have, as cool as it looks, it just does not have the same maneuverability. The Merc MX-5E could be a good alternative to an early game CV. If I wanted to get off of our starting planet, but I was traveling light, I didn't have a lot of stuff, then I would definitely do this. It is proven that it can lift the weight. It's the volume that concerns me, because I typically have more than 10,000 volume worth of stuff when I leave a planet. But I'm guessing if you could, well, when I find the container controllers here, I would like to add on to them. I could actually use some of this space down here, and that would kind of block things, you know, block our entrance here, but it might be worth it just to have the storage space to get off the planet. Heavy fighter, ugh, wow, my voice cracked. I'm in my 30s and my voice cracked. Heavy fighter. I'm going to try this, guys. I'm going to try it. It may be a mistake, but it can also take on space POIs pretty well from my testing of it. When I was building it, I actually built it in space because it's just easier to build things in space. So it's good for that as well. It can take a punch, can really give a punch. So the Ugly Trevor, I think we're going to give it a go, guys. So thank you everybody for your submissions and everyone who built. What was that? Did someone shoot at me? Did somebody shoot at me? Hey, I'm busy making a video. You guys go away. Oh, I hate it. I do not like this. All right. So that's them. Oh, what? You want some too? I can float. There. All right. But seriously, guys, thank you all for your submissions and for the wonderful work that you guys did. I'm envious of all of your guys' building skill. As you can see, mine typically turn out looking like a Lego ship. So that's my decision. On to CVs now, guys. Let's go to space. So here we are in space with 4 CV suggestions. Now, 3 of these were built by Jay Randall and 1 was built by Dominic Ross. And Jay Randall seems to be dominating the ship picks here. I would like to get, you know, some other builders, but I'm going by your guys' suggestions, and he just happens to be suggested a lot, and with good reason. He's a very skilled builder. So we're going to start out from smallest really to biggest. The first 3 here, the Wayfarer, the Pioneer, and the La Salina de St. Vincent, this one here, are all kind of, these are all like CVs that you would probably get early to mid game to get off the starter planet and take all of your stuff with you. So there's going to be some stiff competition here because they're all kind of suited to the same role. They're all lightly armed. They're not meant for combat. I don't believe any of them have shields, the first 3, but we're going to start out with the Wayfarer. This was recommended by Dominic Ross, and this is a build by Jay Randall. So I have used this before in like off-camera playthroughs, things that I did before I even started a YouTube channel, and I do like this. He has upgraded it with the time as the times change. It is suited for Alpha 12. Let's have a look here at the CPU. It's got tier 2 CPU, and it comes in just underneath, so we still got, you know, about 7,000 to spare if there's little things you wanted to add. Let's go ahead and look at the stats here. It's not all that expensive considering, you know, it's a level 10 CV. The big thing you would have to do is get a lot of Neo to get off. You'd have to go and collect a lot because it's 1,500 Neo, 130 Sathium. This thing is designed to be lived in if you had to, because it does have 36 growing plots, which would be enough for for what I use it for building a ration garden. otherwise not all that expensive. The big things you'd have to worry about are the titanium and the Neo. Those are the two things that you would have to get. Now, as far as devices go, well, I'll just show you. We're going to go through this. It's got tons of storage space, guys. All this is storage. Let's go ahead and have a look. All these containers, it's got, let's see, how many? 1, 2, it's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's got 10 regular, 10 regular cargo boxes, CV cargo boxes, as well as a container controller that has 320,000 volume. So this thing, it's great for storage. Basically, anything you want to take with you, you can. It's got 3 fridges. Let's see, we got regular constructor over here. We do have a small constructor, 2 small constructors here, which are good for building, let's say, ammunition for this thing. If you had to, I believe it takes 15 mil or 30 mil. Okay, yeah, maybe you can't build it with this, but it is nice to have the small constructors. You can, you know, build various things, and it'll help you do it speedily and not eat up the time of the larger constructor. Let's see here. Here's our Pentaxa tank. It's really got everything you need right here in the bay if you wanted to park. Here's your armor locker. Here is your food processor. Here's your storage. You got medical, O2. Really nice setup here. And over here, this has room for the shield generator. This is where you would put it if when you wanted to upgrade. Obviously, you would have to probably go to tier 3 to do so. Yeah, you probably would. So you'd want to go up to tier 3 before you put the shield generator in. It does have this nice hatch. This is what I was talking about in my other playthroughs, which I love. It's a quick way in and out of the ship rather than have to walk through the whole thing, you know. Here's the bridge. Great bridge. It's got room for, that could be maybe like a large constructor. I think you could put that there, or even an advanced one. Here's your grow plots. You got your fridges, got your food processor. Very nice, very easy to access. And of course, it's got, the elevator goes all the way to the top so you can get to the top deck. Lots of room for crafts here. You could fit 2, even 3 small to medium SVs up there if you wanted. And then, of course, you have the bay in here, which you could, yeah, this, there's an R down there. Let me go ahead and retrieve that block. This is where you put your repair bay, and you would put the, I think, the console right over here. Yeah, there's instructions in here somewhere about what to do with it, but you can figure it out. You could put the repair console over there, repair bay here, and you're good to go. So, handling wise, let's see. We're not going to go to Xerax Shipyard just yet, but this thing actually turns. It turns. You know, and obviously we've been having a problem with that. It has no problem with lifting, you know, most weights. It's not that big of a deal. This thing can lift basically anything you could fit in it. You will run out of volume before you run out of ability to carry stuff, unless you got, you know, the thing packed full of ships. And of course, if you're using weights and volumes, then that can be a issue. That can definitely be an issue. So I like this. It's simple, no frills, nothing like that. It'll get you from point A to point B and get you to your next galaxy if you so desire to go. Wow, I am upside down. Okay. Interesting. Don't know how that happened. Oh yeah, I do, because I went upside down, Mike. Big mystery, big mystery. Okay, so next in line. This is the MCRN Pioneer Tier 2, also created by Jay Randall. It does have a Pentaxa tank, but no shields. I believe no shields. Let's go ahead and have a look to make sure that's not a lie. Yeah, no, it does not have shields. It does have a nice easy access point right here, which I really like, which will take you right down to the bridge. And of course you'd have to turn your jetpack on in space to get out there, but it's a nice touch. Again, guys, I love easy access in and out for CVs, because going through the whole ship can be nightmarish. So we're going to start from the bridge, And what we have here, I believe this is a switch for the grow lights. Yeah, a switch for the grow lights. That's nice. You know, guys, I love me some switches. Lots of grow plots. So let's go down to the... Let's actually start back here in the bay area. Again, much like the Wayfarer, very similar setup. It's got room for the repair bay down there. And it's even got instructions. So, armor repair, right here. You can fit that. Repair console, C, right over there. Repair bay, R, we saw that. And then in the engineering area, there's room for a shield. Now, this thing, let's see, we got a regular constructor here, a small one here. So it's got 2 constructors, I believe. I don't think there are any more. Armor, O2, and easy access to cargo, which I like, guys. Of course, you know, I always use the F4 button, but, you know, if you rename them, you know, or you just want to go straight up to them, you can. So it's got almost the exact amount. Oh, wait, no, that is the Wayfarer. So let's go to the Pioneer. Yeah, it's got, let's see, 3 regular cargo boxes, 2 cargo container controllers that can hold 240,000 each. Okay, so they both hold 240,000. I did arm this thing just in case we get visited by drones. And 2 fridges. Again, fairly economical build. I like having everything you need right here in the bay. Particularly because I don't really like parking vessels on top. Just due to the fact that they are vulnerable. So, let's see. What do you need for this? It is very similar in cost to the Wayfarer. Again, you're going to need a lot of Neo and a lot of Titanium. That will be the main obstacle. It is also a tier 2, level 10 unlock for this thing. And I think this thing just has a little bit more style than the Wayfarer, you know, for how similar they are. It can also carry more. It's definitely got more carrying capacity, and it just feels like there's more design behind it. If it came down to one or the other, I would pick this one, just, you know, just due to the fact that they are similar in cost. So let's go to the engineering area. We go through here. This is like the med bay. There's all kinds of different medical devices. And where does this go? Oh, yeah. Here's the engineering area. So, shield generator. Probably, maybe OP, another Pentaxa tank. Something like that. You got your warp drive. You got your gravity generator. And you got your core, of course. So, this is nice. It's very modular, upgradable. And you know, that is something I like a lot, because I don't like building multiple CVs if I can at all help it, because it's just a lot of resources that kind of get wasted. And again, easy escape hatch, guys. Very similar to the Wayfarer. An easy way out. And you got your captain's chair here, so it would not be difficult just to get out, get what you need, then leave. Okay, this turns on-off turrets. Heavy lift mode. I like that. Is there a switch for it? No. Okay. So that's cool. You can turn that on and off, and I imagine that probably saves quite a bit of power. What are we doing now? 642? And it's still 642, but I like that. I really like that. Exterior lights. Turn them on. Ground defense. On. Very cool. Very easy. Straightforward. And another reason why I would take this one over the Wayfarer. What do we got up here? Okay, see, this takes us to our garden. Not bad at all. Got yet another food processor. I believe there's a fridge in here somewhere. Yeah, this is where we already explored, so. And of course, up to the upper deck. It does have 4, I believe, cannon turrets for basic defense. So you could take on a space drone, but probably nothing heavier than that. And again, I love this hatch. So very cool design. It feels like, it just feels better somehow. And maybe it's just because I used the Wayfarer before and I'm kind of bored of it. You know, I'd like to try something different for once. But yeah, this one I will take over the Wayfarer. Can you get up right there? No, you can't. Alright. So, the last one in the kind of like level 10, I think this is also level 10. Let's have a look here. Yeah, level 10 capital vessel for basically getting off your first planet. This one was submitted by Dominic Ross, and it is one of his own designs. So thanks again for all your contributions so far to this video and to the upcoming campaign. Now, great cargo bay. And the one thing I want you guys to keep in mind going forward is I've already looked through this. This is a great role-playing vessel. If you were to play, let's say, multiplayer PvE, he has really made it so it feels like a real ship where a real crew could stay. And I'll show you. Besides all the bunk beds, that's number one. You got all these bunk beds. You got your O2, your armor locker right here. Another, what is this, a medic station, and another O2 station. So he's got some really nice notes here. Let's see here. Alright, main engineering. This is an intense heat radiation work zone. Mandatory PPE of suits for 302 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius, and 20 rads require. Failure to comply with company policy on PPE within intense work zone will result in instant termination. Love it. And here we have a quote. Dedication plaque. La Salina de la Saint Vincent, where the embers of winds ends die out, the flames of the new beginnings can flourish. Captain of this vessel. And up here, this is kind of a very topical note here. Given the gravity of the Xenu 19 outbreak, all ventilation systems will remain off in order to comply or to completely stop the transmission of diseases. All outgoing patients must have a level 1 spacesuit and free access to oxygen, food, and first aid as per this vessel's agreement with the St. Vincent Medical Hospital. The captain of this vessel and or first responders will do their best to meet all demands until proper medical facilities can tend to you. So it's almost like a hospital ship, guys, because that's the feeling I'm getting, because look at this. It would be a hospital ship with all these bunks. That would make sense. So we'll go through here to engineering, and this is what he's talking about, because it gets hot in here. Because what do we have? We got our warp drive, pentaxa tank, and our 2 generators. So this is also modular and upgradable. Up here is where you'd put your Tier 3 CPUs to upgrade. And yeah, that's fairly easy access to get in and out. We got our gravity generator up there. So very cool. I like this. And he's got a note here too. Remove 1 layer of ramps and the half blocks facing this LCD to properly install the shield. So we would go through here. We could, well, I'm guessing the shield generator could fit right there if that's what he's talking about. Perhaps. We'd have to see. But also look at this. There's a very open design. It's got like the walkways with the railings up top. So it's all very open. So it feels less claustrophobic. You know what I mean? Because some ships can get that way. Which comes out over here to our garden on either side. Of course, food processor, fridge, and it's identical over here. So lots of grow plots. Definitely could live in this thing. And over here we have what appears to be the medical wing. Yeah, very much like a hospital ship. Look at this, guys. Medical devices with bunks upon bunks. Very cool for roleplay. I dig it. We got a toilet, shower, bathroom vanity, a little more storage if you wanted to make use of this, if you know you're doing multiplayer PvE. And here's easy access to the cockpit, guys. Again, very open design, which if you came under attack could be an issue. Because one breach in this and your oxygen goes. There's no compartmentalization. There's no compartments to stop it. So, you know, maybe one thing I would add is probably another wall right here with a automatic door with a force field, just in case, just for, you know, protection if you do get a breach. Of course, you could come in here too. So there is a small amount of compartmentalization. And over here, I forgot to show you, very fancy. Captain's quarters. This is definitely my room. Dibs. Dibs, dibs. Great view. Great view. And again, shower, toilets. I get all the nice stuff while all the sick people get to sit there and cough in each other's faces. And of course, if we keep going up, that takes us up to the landing pad, where you could fit a small vessel in here. A small vessel. So it does have a little extra carrying capacity. And another one there, if you could. Or maybe if you could manage to get a hover vessel up here somehow, that could work. So, handling wise, oh, this guy is a trip. This guy. Okay. Sick launch beats by Venom. Little less conversation by Elvis. Nice. Sabotage by Beastie Boys. Okay, I'll give it that to you. Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. British Tar by Arthur Sullivan and William Schwenk. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. I would love to play that. You know what? Maybe I'll do that. I'll put on some I Will Always Love You if I give this thing its maiden voyage. Or when I have to kiss it goodbye. One of the two, because we have to upgrade. So, Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. I like your style. I love your style, Dominic. Also known as Venom. Very, very cool. That would be my playlist. So, I'm going to turn this off so I can actually see. Actually, I guess I'm not. That's fine. That's fine. Pardon me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm suffering allergies. I don't mean to cough. Alright, so I guess we're not going to use that. I would figure out how to turn that off. But this thing can maneuver, guys. That's the first thing I noticed. It has great maneuverability, great turning speed, tight turning radius, forward, backward thrust. Again, not heavily armed. It's not designed to fight, especially that shipyard. I'll show you why in a minute. But I do enjoy this one, and it could, in fact, be the winner. Now, let's go ahead and look at the storage space. We haven't looked at that yet. Okay, it's got 6 normal cargo boxes, CV cargo boxes, which can hold 16K each. 1 container controller with 312,000 volume. And another one with 312,000 volume. So, yeah, this thing can pack it in. It can hold more than the Wayfarer. And I think it's got a little bit more style. It's smaller. It actually almost has this look like a World War I tank. You can see it like with the treads on the side. That's the feeling I got from it. That's kind of a cool profile. Some very cool design on the front with the blue highlights. I like that. So this could be a maybe. I might add some guns that I control to it, you know, once we're able to build those instead of just turrets, because that would be nice to have. So yeah, this thing, guys, it maneuvers. And you know how big I am on maneuvering, especially with how annoying the turning radius is with everything. This thing actually gets it done. So it's going to be a tight decision between the Pioneer and the La Salina de la St. Vincent. Yeah, that one. So it's going to be a tough decision, guys. And it's going to be situational as well. And it depends. When we start up our multiplayer game, and I'm thinking more it's probably going to be a PvE type thing, just based on the number of people. This would be an excellent roleplay ship for that. And I would definitely do it. So it's going to be between these two. Now, I want to show you guys something amazing. This one was submitted by, was it Alex Rowdy? So thank you, Alex, for this. This is definitely endgame. This is an endgame ship. It's the Nemesis Battlecruiser, also by, you guessed it, Jay Randall. So, I mean, it's your guys' suggestions, which I'm going to go by, so I don't mind if it's all by the same dude. But first of all, let's have a look here. This is why it's endgame. 24,000 iron, 51,000 sathium, 6,800 about titanium, 7,000 neo. So yeah, this would have to be end game. Also 72 growing plots. This thing rocks. If we were playing like PvE and we wanted to end game CV to go like to the hardest system and try to dominate it, this would be the one I would choose. It is, of course, level 25, size class 8, 8.27 really. And when we play, we're not going to have a size class limits because I just think that's dumb. Let's have a look here. The CPU, so it is tier 4. So it has 10 million CPU and it comes in at 9 million. So there is room for more stuff if you wanted to do it. But after I show you guys this, you're probably going to realize there's not really much use for more stuff. So, yeah, let's see. How many RCSs does this thing have? None. Surprising. Okay. So it's got great defenses in the rear as well, guys. This I love. In case you get, especially like if you're running away from something, you can at least kind of plink away at them. We got some cannon turrets, we got minigun turrets, and rocket launcher, I believe. Yep. So it has, this thing has like 360 defense nearly. Yeah, look at this. And we have a flak turret, which can also probably fire forward. It can fire to the... Oh, I see, I see. That is very clever placement. Very clever. So it's on an angle. I dig it. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and go in to this thing. This thing is a beast. We have a repair bay, tier 2, already here. Here's the repair console. We got all of these access to cargo boxes, so if we were to play multiplayer, everybody could come in and have their own. You could name it or put a lock code on it. Very good for multiplayer, the single cargo boxes rather than just the container controllers. And we have it over here as well. We got our armor repair station. We got O2, medical. Same thing over here. We got some the ammunition instructions, which this thing takes almost every single kind of ammunition that there is. Look at this. This thing is ridiculous. And I did fill it, and it took forever, but yeah, that's kind of helpful. It's got room for several. Like, we got HV parking up here. Probably some SV parking back here. Just all kinds of room. What do we got? We got one constructor. We got two constructors. Here's our Pentaxa tank. And over here, I believe there's more constructors. Yep. Yep, there is. And I believe... Hey, this could be... Okay, yeah, it's an ammo container controller. So we have total 4 constructors. Welcome to the Nemesis Battlecruiser. Yeah, it has multiple core location points, so there's places where you can put the core if you're not really happy with where it's at. So what do we have here? Self-destruct? No, I don't want that button. Opens, closes production area. Okay, so that's open. Let's see, we got a harvest bay because this thing also has mining lasers on it, and I'm going to show you more of that. So we're going to go down here, and true in J. Randall style, there is a quick escape route, so you don't have to go through the vehicle bay. Central elevator. This is a central elevator. Okay, first stop. This is the garden, of course. Tons of grow plots. What do we got up here? This is... Oh, okay, this is an alternate core location. And there's the core. Actually, it's the first core location. Alright, and that's basically all it's up here. More O2, more medical. Another box. I love a box. And we got, yep, 2 food processors, 4 fridges. That's brilliant. Love that. Probably a power hog, but I don't care. By the time we get this thing, I'll spend that promethium. Alright, up here, this is engineering. We got a gravity generator, offline protection. Again, great for multiplayer. Here are the generators. Yeah, we got 1, 2, we got our polarized hull shields. This thing, you can really get lost in, guys. And check this out. This is the mining cockpit, which I love. See, let's go to 3 mining lasers. See? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Kind of hard to see, but with these mining lasers, you got 6 of them. You're going to be fine. So I think that is brilliant. I love the mining cockpit. And you can use that one as well, like to fly the ship if you want. But if you want to go to the main bridge, let's go this way. Okay, this is medical, as you can see. This goes to the Nemesis Lounge, landing pad A, and the secure bridge. This is where you want to fly the ship if you're going into combat. So you can go... What's down here? What's down here? Landing pad B. Okay, yeah, this is the outdoor landing pad on the... Is this port side? No, starboard side of the ship. Excellent. Excellent. I love that. You can go up and then come down here and go down to the other side of the landing pad. So again, really designed with multiplayer in mind, where, you know, there's plenty of parking for everyone's ships. We got some... I like that the thrusters are protected. This thing is no joke. It has very few exposed, if any exposed thrusters at all. Okay, those are exposed. But that's fine. This thing has a mean shield as well. So, yeah, 2 landing pads. Alternate landing pads. You can go through here. Got exterior lights, weapon systems, always on. Thrusters, RCS. So you can throw this switch when you're stopped somewhere. High performance mode. Excellent. Turn off when parked to save power. Must be on for performance mode to function. Beautiful. All right, Nemesis Lounge. Secure bay, bridge. Okay. So there's a separate elevator that you have to get to go up to the secure bridge. Hangar. This goes to the hangar? Okay, yeah, yet another elevator that goes right down to the hangar from up here, from the crew lounge. I like that. Yep, same on both sides. Beautiful. Got a little lounge area. Again, really feels like a ship that could have a crew, a multiplayer crew, places to hang out. Love it. These are the bunks. Obviously, we got toilet, shower. Wait, shower, right? Yep. I like that. Very cool. Nice touch. Nice use of the space to make it feel a little more real. And this is landing pad C. Okay, so this is, yeah, on the very top. Man, this thing just keeps going, doesn't it? Doesn't it, guys? That's what I'm saying. You could get lost in here. It took me a while to figure out where the hell I'm going, so... I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and go up to the bridge. This is the secure bridge. It's apparently a little better armored. And again, guys, if I had to do this from the outside, I would definitely put some shutters over that just to up the armor. But hey, otherwise this thing shreds. And I'm going to show you how. We're fully armed, and we have a Xerax shipyard with a bad attitude that's really about to get it. Okay, 925 meters on this thing. All right, let's zoom in a little. Oh, no, no, no. Come on. Shred them, guys. There we go. Yeah, we are whooping them. Hang on. There we go. Hit this thing. Gonna hit it hard. It's barely touching our shields, guys. Barely touching. Let's go with this, the artillery one. Boom! Yeah, this thing is covered in turrets, but it's not touching us. Not touching us. Alright. Shred it. Here we go. More turrets to kill. Kaboom. Man, this turret, they really upped them. They really upped them. Was that... Did we just get attacked by a Xerax ship? I think we did. This thing launches drones. I got you. I got you. There we go. to make sure my weapons can actually hit what they're looking at. And I believe we're trying to take the core out. Is that what we're trying to do, guys? I don't know, but this thing is defanged, and we never really got below like 80% on shields. This thing just shreds. The ammunition is expensive to make, though. That's the one downside I see to this thing, because otherwise it handles beautifully for such a large, massive beast of a ship. And it can also mine too. It's win-win. So if you find the right asteroids, you know, you can actually just mine that, make your ammo, and be on your merry way. So this, I think, is going to be our endgame CV, guys. I've never played with it. I've always wanted to. The trick is getting just getting the materials for it. So that's gonna be, that was our field trials, guys. I chose not to use the CVs on a planet because all of their lifting power is good enough. I know unless we really intentionally overload them, they're not going to have a problem. So I think it's going to be down to the Pioneer T2 and the La Salina de la St. Vincent, depending on the type of play we do. I think for role play, for multiplayer, I think it'll be the La Salina de St. Vincent. That's a mouthful, I'm sorry. Or the Pioneer. I think for the single player playthrough, I'm going to go with the Pioneer. Just because the Wayfarer is okay, but this thing is just well designed. It's just way better designed in my opinion. And the Nemesis Battlecruiser is going to be our machine of destruction to conquer this massive universe that the Alpha 12 has introduced us to. So I want to thank you guys all again for all your submissions, all the builders. I'm always in awe of you guys and your ability to create. The concentration and the time and the creativity that it takes is something I don't really possess, as you've seen in my builds. So thank you guys so much. You're going to make this playthrough a lot of fun. And we're probably going to get started today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. So if you have not yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe because we are starting a brand new Empyrion Alpha 12 experimental playthrough very soon. I love you guys. I will see you then. Bye-bye.